Exploded now. Sources confirm Harry Kane could return to Tottenham next summer. The legend's fairy tale move back to North London is real. Welcome back to Tottenham News Today channel. The future of Harry Kane continues to dominate discussions across both England and Germany, and the latest reports only strengthen the belief that Tottenham Hotspur may be preparing for the return of their all-time great. Kane, who left North London for Bayern Munich in the summer of 2023, has hit the ground running once again this season, continuing to score goals at an astonishing rate. Yet, despite his prolific form in the Bundesliga, it is becoming increasingly clear that this might well be his final campaign in Bavaria. Speaking to Goal.com, former Liverpool and Germany international Dietmar Hamann delivered a revealing insight into what many at Bayern Munich believe will happen next. According to Hamann, there is a growing sense within the club that Kane will seek a return to England after the 2026 World Cup. While his contract in Munich officially runs until 2027, insiders are convinced that the striker is already eyeing a move back to the Premier League, and Tottenham remain perfectly placed to seize that opportunity. Hamann explained that Kane is thought to have a clause in his contract which would allow him to leave for a fixed amount next summer. Figures of £50 million have been suggested, and that would be enough for any Premier League club to be tempted. Crucially, Spurs inserted a first refusal clause into the original deal when Kane was sold, ensuring that should he wish to return to England, Tottenham will be given the priority to bring their talisman back ahead of any rivals. For supporters in North London, that clause may yet prove decisive. What further fuels this speculation is the way Bayern themselves are planning. The Bundesliga champions have already moved to safeguard their future, recruiting players such as Luis Diaz and Nicholas Jackson during the summer. While officially presented as squad depth and competition for places, many observers believe these moves represent early preparation for life after Harry Kane. The feeling in Bavaria is that, despite his success in Germany, the 32-year-old's heart remains in English football. The departure of Daniel Levy after more than 2 decades has coincided with serious talks of a Qatari-led takeover of the club. Should that deal materialise, Spurs would suddenly find themselves with the financial muscle to compete at the very highest level, eliminating the hesitation and penny-pinching transfer strategies often associated with Levy's reign. In such a scenario, paying the release clause to bring Kane back would not pose any difficulty at all. The implications are massive. Not only would Kane's return provide Tottenham with a world-class striker, but it would also reignite his pursuit of Alan Shearer's all-time Premier League scoring record. The move would symbolise a bold new era in North London, one in which Spurs no longer settle for near misses, but instead back themselves to win major trophies and cement their place among Europe's elite. Kane himself has never hidden his desire to return to English football at some stage, and now the stars appear to be aligning. Bayern know the writing is on the wall, the Premier League waits with open arms, and Tottenham hold the strongest hand of all. For many, it feels less like a question of if Harry Kane will return, and more a question of when. And all signs point firmly towards the summer of 2026. Spurs are once again being linked with one of the Premier League's most exciting young midfielders, Morgan Rogers. According to Dean Jones, Spurs are expected to reignite their pursuit of the Aston Villa star in 2026. And this time, the dynamics could be very different. Without Daniel Levy at the helm, there is a growing sense in North London that Tottenham are finally prepared to break the bank in order to bring in a marquee English talent. Rogers, now firmly established as one of Aston Villa's most influential figures under Unai Emery, has been the subject of admiration from Spurs for quite some time. Tottenham came close to making a move last summer, with intermediaries even making contact late in the window. However, Villa, reluctant to part with their 23-year-old star at such a crucial stage, refused to entertain talks, forcing Spurs to turn their attention elsewhere, eventually sealing a loan deal for Randall Kolo Muani from PSG. Fast forward to today, and the situation appears to be evolving. Aston Villa are expected to increase their valuation of Rogers to around £100 million, recognising his rapid growth and importance in their midfield. The England international, who joined from Middlesbrough in January 2024, has flourished at Villa Park, recently being crowned the PFA Young Player of the Year after a stunning campaign. His ability to dictate play, drive forward with the ball, and chip in with crucial goals has made him one of the most complete young midfielders in the division. While £100 million may seem like a daunting figure, Tottenham's situation has shifted dramatically. Under Levy, such a fee would have been dismissed as unrealistic, the kind of deal Spurs fans could only dream of. But with the club entering a new era, fueled by fresh ambition and greater financial firepower, there is a growing belief that Spurs are now willing and able to push their resources further than ever before. Sources close to Hotspur Way suggest that a bid closer to £80 million could tempt Aston Villa, particularly given their recurring struggles with the Premier League's profit and sustainability rules. This financial backdrop could provide Spurs with the perfect opening. Villa's impressive squad building under Emery has often stretched their finances, and while Rodgers is seen as untouchable by many fans, the harsh realities of modern football may force the club into difficult decisions should a sizable offer land on the table. Tottenham, meanwhile, see Rodgers not just as a signing, but as a statement of intent. A move of this magnitude would signal to the football world that Spurs are no longer satisfied with nearly moments and bargain buys. They are ready to compete with England's elite for the very best young talent. Chelsea are also reported to be monitoring the situation. For supporters, the possibility of Rodgers pulling on the famous lily-white shirt represents the bold new vision that has been promised. Tottenham's pursuit of Morgan Rodgers is not just about adding quality, it is about transforming the club's mentality. And if the whispers from inside Hotspur Way are to be believed, Spurs are preparing themselves to make the kind of move that would have been unthinkable only a few years ago. A new Tottenham is emerging, and Rodgers could very well be at the heart of it. Tottenham are reportedly preparing an audacious and record-breaking move for Manchester City's highly rated winger Savinho, with Spanish outlet Fichajes claiming that the North London club are ready to table a staggering £85 million proposal in 2026. The ambitious bid, which would see Spurs offer a fixed £60 million fee, plus an additional £25 million in performance-related add-ons, would eclipse the club's current transfer record, set only last year when Dominic Solanke arrived from Bournemouth for £65 million. The 21-year-old Brazilian international has been on Tottenham's radar for some time. Spurs made concrete attempts to prise him away from City during the final days of the summer transfer window, but their advances were firmly rejected. Pep Guardiola's side, unwilling to risk losing such a promising talent so close to the deadline, were not prepared to engage in negotiations. City knew that sanctioning a sale at that stage would have forced them into the market for an immediate replacement, something that was simply not feasible with so little time remaining. Despite the setback, Tottenham's interest has not diminished. In fact, if the latest reports are to be believed, their desire to bring Savinho to North London has only intensified. Spurs are said to view him as a marquee addition capable of spearheading the club's next phase of development and helping them return to the top tier of English football after a turbulent 2024-25 campaign. The Lily-Whites hierarchy are reportedly willing to give everything to secure his signature, seeing him as a player who could transform their attacking options for years to come. Savinho, who made his name at Girona before being integrated into Manchester City's wider footballing project, has yet to feature this season after sustaining a pre-season injury. However, he is expected to return to action following the international break, and many around the Etihad still see him as one of the brightest prospects to emerge from Brazil in recent years. His flair, direct dribbling and ability to operate across the front line have already drawn comparisons to some of the game's greats, while his work rate and intelligence off the ball make him a complete modern winger. There are also suggestions that Savinho himself was open to a move to Tottenham in the summer, particularly given the vacancy left by the departure of club legend Heung-min Son. The South Korean forward, who served as captain in his final season at Spurs, made the switch to MLS side Los Angeles FC, leaving a significant void both on and off the pitch. Tottenham view Savinho as the ideal long-term successor, a player with the charisma, talent and explosiveness to inspire the next generation of supporters. Tottenham are serious about competing at the very highest level. Breaking the transfer record for a player of Savinho's calibre would represent a watershed moment for the club, moving them firmly into a new era where financial muscle is matched by sporting ambition. The coming months will reveal whether Manchester City are willing to part ways with their young star, but one thing is clear. Tottenham are ready to go all in for Savinho. That's all for today's update. If you enjoyed this video and want to stay up to date with everything Tottenham, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a story. Don't forget to drop a like and share this video with other Spurs fans. Together we can keep growing the Tottenham News Today community. Thanks for watching, and as always, come on you Spurs!